Welcome back to the Food and Finance Kitchen. I am Shelley.nadel, a CFP fiduciary professional who loves making money fun. We started this video series to make it easier for you to take control of your financial destiny by breaking down complex topics into bite-sized pieces. As a bonus, you'll learn some great ways to level up your culinary skills and some recipes that are sure to please. Today, we're going to dive into a very important topic, which is balancing risk in your financial strategies. Everyone has their own unique risk profile, and your financial plan should be designed with that in mind. We'll bring this concept home with homemade blueberry pie. So the first step to any pie is a basic pie crust. Our basic pie crust has flour, ice water, unsalted butter, and kosher salt. How does this recipe fit into our risk conversation? First, as an amateur chef, I am personally intimidated by homemade pie crust. A friend's son jokes that pie crust senses your fear. I think it does with me. Today we're going to look at 4 different but related risk concepts: risk tolerance, capacity, avoidance, and reduction. From the finance perspective, risk is the chance that an investment, such as a stock or commodity, will lose value. Now I'm going to pulse this, and then we're going to start putting 8 to 10 tablespoons of cold water. If you have a financial advisor, then you've certainly heard of risk tolerance. Advisors will couch the question as something resembling, do you lose sleep when your portfolio value drops 10 to 20%? Risk tolerance tries to quantify how comfortable investors are with uncertainty in their financial strategies. The most obvious part of the uncertainty is in the stock market, but your financial plan should also address the risk of maybe early death or disability, just to name a few. Most people will become more risk averse as they age and have more assets, but that's not universal. Okay, our dough is done. So the next step is we're going to divide our dough into 2 pieces, and we're going to roll each of them out into a disc that will ultimately form our pie crust. Our next risk concept is risk capacity, which is the amount of risk investors must, rather than should, take to achieve their financial goals. In non-jargonese, risk capacity takes how much money you need. That's something you're going to have to decide. Then it uses basic math to figure out what investment performance you'll need to hit that number and how long it's going to take you to get there. Of course, investment performance in the stock market is never guaranteed, and past performance is not predictive of the future. Okay, we're going to wrap these 2 discs of dough in clear plastic wrap, and we're going to put them in the refrigerator or freezer for about an hour. I'm going to mix in a cup of the blueberries for our pie. We're going to make a little puree here. And then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/8 of a teaspoon of kosher salt, 2.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. And then we're going to put this on the stove and make a puree. It's going to thicken. That cornstarch is going to help thicken it so it doesn't get too runny after it cooks. I'm going to pour this into our pan. We are going to heat this up for a minute or 2. Let me tell you about our next financial tip, which is risk avoidance, dealing with eliminating an exposure to risk that could cause loss. I put risk avoidance in the category of nice to have, but not happening category. As the police put it so eloquently, every breath you take, every move you make, all of it involves risk. When talking about investing in the stock market, the standard maxim is that more aggression leads to higher returns, and lower risk strategies will be safer but have lower returns. The gaping hole in that philosophy is that even if all your money is in safe cash, inflation means you are losing value daily. And it doesn't have to be historic inflation, like the 1970s or 2022. If the annual rate of inflation averages 3%, the $100 bill in your mattress or savings account is only going to be worth $97 next year. Just look at the cost of butter in our pie crust. A pound of butter costing $2 in 1997 costs $4.82 in 2022. Yikes! Now that our filling is nice and thick, we're going to add this to another 7 cups of blueberries. Our clients deal with all types of risk every day, and we work hard with them to minimize the threats. A divorcee we work with, Ellen, came to us with a portion of her husband's retirement account that she had been awarded in the divorce process. It's called Quadro, by the way, and had absolutely no idea what she was supposed to do. We were able to walk her through the process of transferring her funds, and the financial plan we developed for her accurately reflected her various risk positions. Financial planning and a deliberate process that takes one step at a time kept Ellen from making a costly mistake. This is such an easy process. I don't know what I was afraid of all that time. Okay, so we've got our nice chilled pie crust, and we are going to grab just a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick. We're gonna have to roll this out. Excuse me, let me spread it a little bit. It's okay to make a mess in the kitchen, just don't do it with your money. That's our philosophy. I am so excited that I've had this chance to conquer my pie fear. So this is the bottom crust, and we're actually going to cook this a little bit in the oven so it's nice and brown. The top crust will just cook when we're baking the pie. And really important, we're going to cook this for about 20 minutes in the oven. If you just put the pie crust in like this to the oven, then it's going to puff up. Get a circle of parchment, doesn't have to be precise. Put it down, and then use these are called pie weights. They're not mints. They are meant to keep the parchment paper flat to avoid bubbles in the crust. You also can use dried beans. We've got our pie weighted down with our pie weights. We've preheated our oven to 375, and we're gonna cook this for about 20 minutes. And then the best part comes when we put the pie filling in. So we are rolling out our second piece. This is going to be the top portion. It's not gonna be a perfect circle, and that's okay. Art was not my best subject, but math was, fortunately. Here. Oh my gosh, that's our pie crust. Oh great, I'm so excited to get it out of the oven. So, as we put the filling into our lovely baked pie crust, the final type of risk we're gonna talk about is risk reduction. This risk approaches with the understanding that loss is inevitable. And the idea is to try to mitigate that. So stock prices drop, people get sick, car accidents happen. So the best risk reduction strategy is to reduce the likelihood and severity of losses, including more diverse market investments and incorporating insurance strategies are practical ways to protect yourself against a catastrophic outcome. The idea is for you, the investor, to articulate how much risk you're willing to take on yourself. That would correspond, for example, to your health or auto insurance deductibles. Then you let maybe the insurance company assume the rest of the risk. Put simply, risk reduction balances risk with rewards. You want to poke some holes, slits into the pie crust. If not, it is going to explode in your oven and make a big mess. All right, so the last step before baking our pie is to put it back into the freezer to let it cool down, let that butter in the crust set, and then we're going to bake it at a 400-degree oven. Okay, we're about to put the pie in the oven, but we have to do one more thing. I'm gonna apply an egg wash to the crust, and what that's gonna do, it's gonna make it nice and shiny. When this comes out of the oven, it's gonna look like you picked it up at the best bakery in town. But you did it yourself. I'm gonna put this baby in the oven. We're gonna cook it first at 400 degrees, and then we'll drop the temperature to 350. Okay, here we go. Here is our finished pie, fresh out of the oven. This is amazing looking. I am really proud. It's gonna taste unbelievable, and I did it by confronting my fears. You can't eliminate risk, but with intentional and deliberate financial planning, you can moderate the threats to your financial success. Thanks for spending time with us today. If you'd like us to come to your place of business and do some financial literacy, please just reach out to us on our website and we'll be sure to get back to you. We'll see you back here soon. Take care. Oh my gosh, the blueberries are so juicy. They're not too sweet. And the crust is fabulous. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and you too can make this delicious blueberry pie. See ya. I'm gonna mix in first into the food processor. Ah! Okay, that's a blooper. All right.